Oh my gosh. Excuse me. Okay, so do a lot of things well and can't figure out how to choose just one niche. I'm kind of laughing at myself right here. I love breath. Okay. About 80% of my clients who are new coaches or who have been in business for a while but are pivoting their niches, about 80% of the clients, this is like a totally accurate number, of course, right? Let's just say the majority of my clients, they have so many passions and strengths and experiences and certifications and backgrounds and all these things that it feels near impossible to choose one focus. I feel like I have this push-pull with people all the time of like, can I do one or two or three things? But, you know, as you'll hear in a moment, if you have too many focuses, how is anyone ever going to get to know you and be able to spread the word about you and want to hire you, right? Like it makes it an uphill climb. So I'm going to be sharing what will help you connect all of these different parts of yourself into one niche, one focus. So stay tuned. If this is you, which chances are it probably is. I tend to attract very multi-passionate people. I am one myself. All right, and go ahead and hit the like button or the love button even. The love button, hit the love button. That sounds really funny. Okay, go ahead and do that if this is you so that I know that I'm on the right track. Even if you're watching the replay, go ahead and do that because I'm going to be going back through and all that jazz. All right. Hi, I'm Adria DeCourt, and I'm host of the Unforgettable podcast. And over the last several years, I have used what I learned as a TEDx speaker and in my architecture design background to help hundreds of women coaches to get clear on their niche and really what sets them apart, and to communicate why their people need them so that they can start attracting their dream clients and get paid to make an impact, get paid to really start to make a difference in the world and get out there and be helping their people. And I'm here to help you to do that too. That's why I'm doing these live broadcasts, so I can support you and share the things that have made the biggest difference for my clients, because I want you to be able to spread your message and get out there in the world too. All right. And how this all started, this niche series that I'm in, because I'm in the third part of the Is My Niche Profitable series right now. That's what I'm doing today. How this all started was in my Unforgettable Coaches Facebook group, which is one of my favorite places to be. I posted a couple weeks back, I posted something where I was giving, it was a coaching corner, and I was giving support to community members on their niche. And I was saying, hey, post your niche and I'll let you know if it's too broad or like where you need to go next in order to make it something people want to pay for. And I got a lot of comments and I supported a lot of people. And then I realized that, you know, there's some really specific things that keep coming up. So I wanted to do this 4-part series so that I could kind of bust through these and give you the first steps to take to make your niche profitable. Because often it's not necessarily about whether you are about what you do. Often it's how you talk about what you do. And we went through that in last week's video. And it was really powerful, and how to choose a niche that people want to pay for, right? This is important topics. So this is the next part in the series. And I'm curious, did you catch the other parts? Go ahead and say, I caught them in the comments if you did, whether you're watching live or the replay. Next week, a little teaser for you. I'm going to be winding up this series with part number 4, which is why doesn't anyone want to pay me? Should I change my niche? For those of you who are considering pivoting your niche, that's going to be extra boost of support for you. It's going to be next Thursday, February 8th at 12 p.m. PST here on my Facebook page. All right. So one thing I know from helping lots and lots of clients to go through this, to take all these pieces of themselves and tie them together, is that if you want to make it easy to get known, easy to get remembered and hired, then and you want to make it easy to create an offering, post on social media, talk to people in a networking event, you got to choose one focus. One focus. I know it sounds like pulling teeth, but it's important. And that's why I'm going to be sharing with you the single most important thing that you need to know to connect all of those threads together. And it's surprising. It's going to surprise you what it is. It's not magic, but it's just a little shift in your thinking that I'm going to be sharing with you in just a moment. All right, and I want to get a sense of who's watching live or on the replay. Go ahead and comment with new niche or pivoting so that I know who we've got here on this video, whether, like I said, even if you're on the replay, I want to know. I go back through and look and see everyone's what they've posted and shared and stuff. All right. And while you're doing that, if you think that this is an important topic and you think it would help your other coach friends, then I would be so appreciative if you would click the share button and go ahead and share it. And I'm going to do the same thing myself right now. I'm going to go ahead and share it. And I'm getting better at this. If you've been on my lives, you know that I can be a little share challenged. All right. And as we go, if you have any questions or any insights, go ahead and drop them in the chat and I will get them to them at the end or as it makes sense. And if you're watching the replay, I will, like I said, be coming back around and answering things. And if you want my feedback on your situation, drop that too. I'm here to support. All right. So I have a background as an architect and as a botanist. And I was a health coach and I'm a writer and I'm into minimalism. I'm multi-passionate. So how in the world did I choose this niche? That's something that people ask me, right? How do you possibly take all these pieces of yourself and tie them together? How could you possibly choose one thing? Maybe we should do a whole lifestyle brand where we talk about everything, right? But if you're a coach and you want to get clients, it's going to be so much easier if you can choose one thing. So the biggest problem that I see, because like I said, this is super common with my clients, right? And by now, if I was a Girl Scout, I would like to have a badge in this or a patch. I can't really remember. I was a Girl Scout, but I don't remember how it works. But I would definitely have like gotten some kind of symbol that I could iron onto my vest by now in helping connect all the threads into one thing. And the problem with this is that it keeps you stuck. So it's not even like what we talked about last week where people don't see why they should pay you. You don't even know what to do to move forward, right? Like it just keeps you completely stuck. You can't create anything. You don't know what steps to take. You don't know what blog posts to create or what social media posts to do or what even your offering should be, right? You don't even know how to start moving forward. So you just sit here stuck. And that's the point a lot of people come to me on. And this is real. Don't feel like you're the only person going through this. You are not alone. And the beautiful thing is that there is help, right? You can move through this. Okay. So I had a client in particular who was just coming out of the corporate world. She wanted to be a life coach. She already knew that, right? And I had met her at an event for transformational speakers. So she knew she had a message to share. She was pretty clear on the general gist of that message and how it was, like how she wanted people to change their lives and what shifts she wanted them to make. And the thing is that she didn't know the business end. Like she was like, okay, I know what talk I want to do, but how does this apply to a business? What am I actually supporting them with? Am I just a life coach, just a broad life coach? Or like, what is my niche? What does this look like? She was paralyzed. She was totally stuck. She couldn't move forward. And that meant that as the deadline for the last day of her corporate job approached, she was getting more and more stressed because she didn't know what steps to take and she didn't know what she was doing. And so when I helped her to use what I'm about to teach you to find her aligned niche, it opened up momentum and movement and got her unstuck and moving forward. And she was having conversations with her first potential clients. She knew which direction to go, right? And she was actually starting to move forward and have packages and invite people into her world. So before I jump forward into the solution, is this something you struggle with? Comment with me too, even if you're watching the replay, because I want to get a sense of if I'm in the right direction and if this is something that you struggle with too. I want to be able to support you. Okay, so if you watched video number two last week, you know that the way to choose a niche people want to pay for is to shift the way that you think about what you do. To shift it so that instead of talking about the process and the tools you use, you're instead talking about the problem you solve. So a little bit of a recap from last week, and you're going to want to go back and watch number two to build on this if you haven't already, because that's going to give you a great foundation for what I'm talking about today. But essentially, most of us, when we get into business and we become coaches and we hang out our shingle and we start talking about what we do, we talk about, the process, like I create meal plans, or I help you implement a healthy diet, or I remove limiting beliefs and blocks, or I help you update your social media profile or LinkedIn, or whatever it is. We're talking about the tools. We're talking about what we use to get people to a result. But what people really care about is the problem you're going to help them solve. They don't really care about the process that you're going to take them through to get there. And so most of us are walking around talking about the process rather than talking about the problem we're actually solving with that process. Does that make sense? Put it makes sense in the comments if it does, so I can know you're with me. So that's a huge shift already, right? Starting to talk about, instead of the tools you use to solve the problem, to talk about the actual problem. And I call this the tools to problem pivot. So when you make the tools to problem pivot, it sets you up for what I'm going to share with you right now. All right. The good news for you is, if you're a multi-passionate or if you have a lot of experience and you know how to tie all the threads together, is that your niche is, since it's focused on the problem you solve rather than the tools, you get to use all of your tools to solve the problem. So said another way, all those pieces of yourself that you're trying to tie together into a niche, you don't have to. You just have to pick one problem that you solve with all of those tools. Those are all your tools. That's your tool chest. So say I'm a life coach and a Reiki master and I have a background leading teams in corporate. Those are all my tools. And then the problem I solve could be like any number of things. And if you want to figure out the problem you solve, like I said, go back to video number two. But the most important thing for you to remember, and the shift I want you to have right now, is realizing that you don't have to let any of those pieces go. That you can actually be using those tools to solve a problem. So I like to say this to my clients, that they could solve a lot of problems with their tools they have. So really, the real choice is, which problem do you want to solve? Which problem are you in alignment with? Which problem really lights you up? And that's really the most important thing. I mean, I don't really have to say much more. So I'm curious what your insights are. You can go ahead and share them in the comments, like anything that's popping up for you as you watch this, to kind of cement it for yourself even. Let's see. And if you are interested in watching part two, actually the first two parts where I talk a lot more deeply about helping you figure out the problem you solve and helping you choose a profitable niche, those will be fabulous ones for you. So if you are interested in watching those, then go ahead and leave a comment that says videos, so I know to send those links to you, so you can start to watch those and move forward that way. All right. To recap, this is a quicker video today. To recap, the most important thing you need to know is that you don't have to give up any of those pieces of yourself. You don't have to give up your experiences, or the 2 degrees you have, or the 5 certifications, or the 3 passions. You get to figure out, how do you incorporate those tools into how you're helping your clients and how you're solving this overall problem for them. So really, what matters is not so much all those things and tying them together. What matters is choosing the problem. Make sense? Make sense? Make sense? I hope so. All right. Fabulous. All right, so today I gave you one huge shift that will help you to go from feeling like you have to choose one focus and you have to leave parts of yourself behind, and help you choose a niche that really feels in alignment for you, and just let go of all that, like that fear that you won't be able to bring your full self to the table. And I know that often it takes outside help for you to actually figure out the problem you solve, to figure out what that niche should be and how you're using all these tools to support it. And so this is whether you are a new coach, whether you are pivoting, whether you are trying to hone in your niche because it hasn't been really effective for you so far. Regardless of that, this is important work, and it can often be hard to do for ourselves, right? We sit around and we try to do a bunch of journaling, or maybe we talk it out with a friend, or we just figure if we take some action, maybe we'll come to it. And sometimes we didn't get there, and it can be really frustrating, and it can make us, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, it can keep us stuck. And so if this is really, if this is important to you and you really want that personalized guidance, I have a limited amount of spots for clarity calls that I open up. And I have open right now. So this is for people who are serious about making these shifts. And this is totally free. And what it looks like is us hopping on a call for 40 minutes so that I can hear a little bit more about what you're struggling with, what this looks like for you. And then I can make some recommendations for you on where to start. And if it feels like I can support you further, then we can talk about like what that might look like to give you the help that you really need to get to where you're going. So if this is something that you want to do and you want to grab one of those spots for the next couple weeks before they're gone, comment below with call, the word call, and I'll reach out to you to give you that support. So that's one of the big things I want to leave you with your next step. If you found this really valuable and you want to share it, don't go away yet, okay? I'm going to tell you about what the next video is, right? Then I would be so appreciative if you want to share this. And thank you so much for joining me today. I'm looking forward to getting this party wound up next week on part number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The final piece in this Is My Niche Profitable series, where I'm going to be answering the question, why doesn't anyone want to pay me? Should I change my niche? This is a biggie. And that's going to be Thursday, February 8th at 12 p.m. PST here on my Facebook page. So drop me a comment for any of the things we talked about today. Let me know what your insights are. Let me know what your questions are around this so I can support you if you're watching the replay. And I will see you next week. Bye.